Hello everyone and welcome back to SVR 2011 Universe. This is going to be an interesting episode of SmackDown. I'll tell you why in a moment. First, it's Big Show.
Approaching the ring, standing at 7 feet tall, weighing 441 pounds, the Big Show.
Well, it seems to be a common theme here on the start of SmackDown that we have something to do with Big Show or Dolph Ziggler, and we're going to be starting off this episode with Big Show versus Ziggler's secret weapon from last week, Primo. They're going to go one-on-one. Primo insists he just didn't get a fair shot, so here we are, one-on-one match. Big Show and Primo are going to go toe-to-toe, and this will be Primo's opportunity to prove that he is the ultimate secret weapon. I'll let him get introduced and then I'll explain what's going on.
And his opponent, from San Juan, Puerto Rico, weighing 218 pounds, Primo.
So basically, the reason I say that this is going to be an interesting episode is because there's been a slight hiccup in the booking. So you may recall me saying in previous episodes that I was going to get rid of the unified tag titles. That's now been done. They are being held by John Cena, Alt Attire, and Mr. McMahon was who I had to end up putting him with. And the reason for that is Biker Undertaker won't come off of SmackDown. It keeps saying he's in a team even though he's not. I actually cannot remove the Biker Undertaker from SmackDown. So, he's just kind of there. He's been booked in a match already, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the one that he's been booked in and make it something else. And, basically, it booked him in a match with Edge, and it's made that the second match of the show, because obviously it's going for Biker Undertaker, not the World Champion. I'm going to fix that, and I'm going to make the main event for this week, Undertaker versus Edge, like the actual Undertaker, because that is a good main event. I'll be back in a moment. And we are back. I believe I was talking about how it's kind of been messing with the show quite a bit in this one. So yeah, Biker Undertaker, I guess what I'll have to do with him until it will let me remove him, if it ever lets me remove him, is I'll just replace him with regular Undertaker. That'll just be how I'll make sure to book Undertaker, I suppose. So we'll have like Undertaker versus Edge in the main event of this week's SmackDown. We've also got a match coming up that it booked that was a contenders match for the tag team titles. So that one's going to need editing as well. That's the one that I guess I'll just turn into the tag team championship match. I think it put like Jericho and Miz up against I don't remember who, honestly. But it doesn't matter because it's not going to actually be a contenders match. I think it was Mark Henry and MVP because it's still trying to book the unified tag titles, obviously. It's just not going to be allowed to. And then, surprise, surprise, the main event it's booked this week is Randy Orton and CM Punk again. And I refuse to let that just keep going. We're a month into SmackDown, and so far that would mean that the entire month has closed with Orton and Punk. Abso-fucking-lutely not. It's like, hey, it's Friday night Orton Punk. How great. So, of course, as a surprise to no one, Big Show has come out with the victory against Primo. So I guess what I'll do is I'll just put together a match to promote TLC, something to do with Vance Archer or something. I don't know. We'll find out in a minute. Well, we completely disagree with the way Vance Archer earned the title shot, but he's got it. So here's a match I put together.
Approaching the ring, from Dallas, Texas, weighing 270 pounds, Vance Archer.
This match that I've put together will feature Vance Archer, the #1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship. He is going to go up against someone that I think it is criminal has not appeared on SmackDown yet. Someone who is very well deserving of an Intercontinental title shot against The Miz before Vance Archer after his attack on Yoshitatsu. Yoshitatsu not cleared to compete. So I've gone with Rob Van Dam. I really do think it's criminal that he wasn't being used. Same with Goldust and Cena for the record, but... Oh, and it looks like Rob Van Dam isn't taken too kindly to the way that Vance Archer screwed Yoshitatsu, and I agree. Good on you, Rob Van Dam. Good on you. You deserve to put Vance Archer in his place. You know, give him a taste of his own medicine with a little bit of Rolling Thunder. Maybe a frog splash as well, just for good measure. Just to really let him have it. I was like, yeah, this is what you did to Tatsu. You disgrace. Yeah, exactly. Not so very nice, is it? No. Well, that one was revenge for Tatsu. I guess Yoshitatsu has a friend in Rob Van Dam. Hey, that actually sounds like a pretty awesome team. Maybe I'm crazy, maybe no one agrees with me, but I actually think Rob Van Dam and Tatsu would be pretty awesome. That may not have been a match, but the thing is, that will have gotten Rob Van Dam up in the rankings, and it's justice well served to Vance Archer after his attack on Tatsu, and that's all that really counts in my opinion. Justice has been served. Tag title match next. Alright, well, with TLC so close by, what better way to determine they are not the champions yet? I had to put it on someone, okay?
And he's for the WWE Tag Team Championship. Approaching the ring.
Nothing! So, yeah, they're not the champions. They may be the champions, but they're not the champions yet, is the better way to put it. They may be the champions after this match is all said and done. But I had to put the titles on someone, because otherwise you can't put them on the line. So, yeah, here we go. Tag team ladder match. I figured with the TLC this Sunday and the SmackDown tag titles almost definitely not being on the show, since they've literally just been determined, it would make no sense for them to then be immediately defended at TLC. So with them not being on the show, I figured now's a good time for us to have a quick ladder match, a quick preview of TLC. Plus, in all fairness, I'm a little short on time. I'm not like super short, I've got about an hour, but I just wanted to try and get like the draft done after this and stuff, so I just kind of wanted to like wrap this up a little quicker, so I thought a ladder match will be a little bit more fast-paced than your standard tag team match anyway. Plus, of course, it's the first time they've ever been determined, so to have them hanging above the ring makes sense.
Weighing in at 226 pounds, Chris Jericho.
So Chris Jericho just recently suffered a quick loss to Vladimir Kozlov on Superstars. It thankfully didn't affect his rankings. He didn't end up dropping out of contention for the first ever WWE Tag Team Championship match. But now comes the moment of truth. Now comes, can Chris Jericho actually become a WWE Tag Team Champion with The Miz? Will The Miz be the first guy in this universe to hold 2 championships? That is the question. The Miz has got to defend that championship against Vance Archer at TLC, but could have 2 championships pretty soon. Of course, the classic round of applause for The Miz. Everywhere around the world, everybody loves him. CM Punk finally not fighting Randy Orton for the first week here on SmackDown, doing something different. Whether he wants to or not, he has been made to do something different. Oh wow, we even got a graphic. I was honestly not sure if it was going to recognize it that well as a match, but it seems to actually be trying to respect what I've set up here, which is nice. Oh, I was hoping that I'd get a nice close-up of the ref holding them up so that I could like use that as the thumbnail. I suppose that would be a pretty good one. No, it wouldn't, because you wouldn't actually be able to see the teams. They're too far apart. You got to go for things that are more central. Otherwise, it doesn't really work so very well. So, of course, I had to play as the Straightest Society. My logic being that double title entrances suck. We've literally just gotten rid of those. The Miz doesn't have a title entrance in this game, so he wouldn't be able to hold both without having that shitty double title entrance. And on top of that, CM Punk and Luke Gallows, that's a team that, as someone pointed out in the comments before, have never held tag titles before, and I think they should. So I think this could be their big break. I may still lose this. Ladder matches are actually, if I remember right, they can be a little bit harder to try and make sure that you win. I tried to make their attires match, but I didn't realize how much white was on the Miz's one that is called Valor. And I didn't realize how not green the camo that Luke Gallows has is. So there's that explanation for you. SmackDown's tag team division consists of Crime Time, these two tag teams here. The Brothers of Destruction will no longer be able to be a team because Undertaker is on SmackDown and Kane is on Raw. So that's one that I'm officially not going to be able to recognize as a tag team. The Legacy, that's another tag team that you can expect to see here on SmackDown. Big Show and Lex Luger just recently formed a tag team. So they've got about 5 teams. I think Raw's also got about 5 teams. You got DX, the Hart Dynasty, MVP and Mark Henry, Evan Bourne and Kofi Kingston, and the Nexus. I think there was actually 11 teams though, so there's one I'm forgetting here. And to that one I am sorry. Just a nice taster for TLC was the aim with this match. Got a nice ladder match. Get you all ready for it, and then you got Undertaker actually going to compete in the main event. He's gonna do it. I've decided. I was originally going to have a champion versus champion, and I realized one of the guys in this match is the Intercontinental Champion. Gallows, you should probably try to do something. And I guess he didn't. And there you go. CM Punk salty as all hell. I guess they might be a random-ass tag team, but they're also a random-ass set of tag team champion. That's this. Sorry, I didn't mean to hit the microphone. The controller fell off my lap. That's their second tag team ladder match victory. I should have known better. So the Miz is now Intercontinental and WWE Tag Team Champion. That's a pretty big accomplishment. I don't know how long they'll be able to hold on to the titles for, considering they're a very weirdly functioning tag team, but they got them. Congrats. You think you know it? Alrighty, main event time, and Edge is actually getting used on SmackDown. Well, Undertaker is too, to be fair. SmackDown's got such a stacked main event scene, and all it keeps doing is booking Punk versus Orton. You've got Punk, Orton, Mysterio, Cena, Edge, Undertaker, The Rock. Even Miz and Jericho could easily be in the main event scene. There's just loads of potential for the main event scene, and it's like, no, fuck all of those people. You are going to watch Orton versus Punk every goddamn week. And this week's one, guess what? It wasn't even a special gimmick match. It was just a one-on-one regular match between Orton and Punk. And it's like, dude, give it a rest. No one wants to see that anymore. It's time we got them far away from each other. Orton's challenging for the world title. Punk is now a tag guy. He's focusing on the tag titles. Because he can't focus on the world heavyweight. That's currently not a thing he's involved with. And I thought it was about time that a world champion actually did his duties as a champion and appeared on his show. So here you go. Tried booking him on friggin' Superstars. Won't book him on his own damn show though.
And his opponent from Death Valley, weighing 299 pounds, he is the World Heavyweight Champion, The Undertaker.
It should be very interesting to see if Undertaker can actually keep the World Heavyweight Championship when he goes up against Randy Orton at TLC. I don't know what kind of match it's going to put them in, whether it's going to be a table match, a ladder match, a TLC match, an Extreme Rules match. I don't know. You know, Hell in a Cell, Steel Cage, Iron Man. I have no idea what it's going to put them in, but there are certain match types that will advantage one more than the other. Something like an Extreme Rules match very easily favors the Undertaker. Table match, you know, you got the last ride, a nice good move to put someone through a table. A ladder match, though, that's a bit more foreign for someone like Undertaker. Same with a TLC match. It's a little bit different. It doesn't necessarily mean that he doesn't stand a chance. He may just as well very easily dominate in a ladder or a TLC match, but that's just not really his background. Randy Orton clearly then has the advantage. You know, moves like the RKO from the top of a ladder. Quite iconic little things. Can't really tombstone someone from the top of a ladder. I'm sure you could if you wanted to, but it would be very dangerous and very hard to do correctly. But this is a hell of a main event, to be honest. I give full credit to the game for randomly booking Biker Undertaker versus Edge as the second match of the show. I didn't come up with this, but it is a hell of a match. Could also be a good proving ground for Edge to start getting more involved on SmackDown in the main event scene.
Talk to us about Edge, King.
Well, you know, we've been calling his matches for a while, and personally, I think this move to Friday nights will be huge for him.
Move?
Taking advantage of the situations that are given to him.
How long was he on Friday nights for at this point? Because I know that the whole time he was an active member of the rosters, he was on SmackDown when SmackDown was introduced. Near enough. Well, at least from the moment I started watching onwards, I should say.
Oh, there it is! Watch it! That was like a freight train!
Don't think he ever left, like, got drafted to Raw. Except maybe in, like, the early 2000s, because I haven't seen that. But I know that from the moment he returns to fight Kane at, like, WrestleMania 2020, I think it is, I don't think he ever went on any other brand. So what, how old is that line of commentary that Lawler just said? Maybe I'm horribly wrong. Maybe he was on Raw at some point and I just don't know about it. But at the very least, it couldn't have been any time before 2005, because the whole entirety of the time I was watching, he was always a SmackDown guy. I know he was on Raw back in the Attitude Era when SmackDown didn't exist.
Undertaker with the arm.
No disrespect to Edge, but I'm not exactly expecting this to be a difficult match. I gotta be honest with you.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you just tuned in, this is our main event of the evening.
It sure is. I don't know why you'd be opening a YouTube video and jumping straight to this match and then being surprised when you hear that it's the main event.
Undertaker counters it.
Undertaker has the arm.
This is another one of SARIA'S special attires for Edge, just in case you're curious why he is wearing all grey. She thought she'd be super punny, and she made an outfit that is all grey and then called it Area.
Edge into the headlock.
Watch it. That was like a freight train.
To be honest, The shines kind of work in the sense of like showing off the designs, but I think a few of the like logos and stuff, like each grey could have been a different type. I think that would have been quite nice to have been able to have seen every outfit part rather than it all just being pure grey. So that you can very faintly see the prints as opposed to just not seeing them is kind of what I'm getting at.
We wanted to take this time to thank you for making SmackDown a part of your Friday night tradition. Thank you, everybody.
Undertaker controlling the waist.
No, I wasn't exactly expecting Edge to be difficult to beat, so... Wait, sorry, what? I mean, I wasn't exactly expecting the Edge to be easy to beat, is what I meant to say there. So I guess he's delivered in that sense. Oh, I can no-sell sit-up whenever I want. The time had come.
The dead man, Undertaker.
The dead man!
Tombstone.
Could be the end. Could have just won it off the no-sell sit-up.
Can he score the pin? 1, 2, 3.
There you go. I mean, he literally kicked out right as 3 happened. I'm not sure why he did that, but he did.
Here's your winner, The Undertaker.
Gonna fight Randy Orton for the world title at TLC. Oh, this could be the moment. Oh.
I would like this display.
Wow. Imagine being offered respect by someone like The Undertaker and saying no. Talk about career suicide, Edge. That's not even like brave, that was just downright stupid. You know what the poster for TLC is? Undertaker putting Edge through a table. That was very dumb. Okay, so I guess we can get a preview for TLC in a minute. I mean, it will be changed because I will be adding 2 women's matches to it. I might throw in one as a bonus and not actually take up all 6 slots, like take up 2 of the 6 slots on women's matches, because I think the Cruiserweight title should be defended, to be honest. It's been about a month. So Vance Archer and Rob Van Dam's relationship has gotten even worse. They didn't have one before, but it's even worse now. So there you have it, Jericho and Miz, they are the SmackDown Tag Champions. So basically what you get from this is Straight Edge Society are the #1 contenders for the SmackDown WWE Tag Team titles, and DX are the #1 contenders for the World Tag Team titles on Raw, which is a little strange, but okay, they really shot up in the rankings. For the record, I know that this shows the Hart Dynasty as Unified Tag Champions, but if you have a look, free agent Cena is holding the Unified, and Mr. McMahon is holding the Unified. It's part of the glitch, is that it doesn't actually show them as not holding them. So here's Biker Undertaker, and I get this every time I try to move him. So he does have to stay on SmackDown. I'm just not going to book him. As I say, I'm just going to use his booking to put the other Undertaker on the show. Because as long as he doesn't have any rivals, he shouldn't make any appearances. So anyway, yeah, rankings. Vance Archer, let's see. So Luke Gallows' loss with CM Punk put him down a rank, putting Cody Rhodes up in the process. And Kozlov winning and Punk losing puts Kozlov up to 6 and Punk down to 8. Shad drops from 6 to 7 because I guess Kozlov's win was pretty big. As for the World Heavyweight Championship, Randy Orton is still #1. Meanwhile, Big Show has just raised from #3 to #2 because CM Punk has dropped to #3. Obviously, Big Show getting a win on SmackDown as well as Punk suffering a loss. Cena is 4. Suddenly, we're just going to pretend that he worked really hard for that. Edge remained at 5 despite a loss to Undertaker, and Mysterio, Miz, Ziggler, and DiBiase all take drops because of Cena randomly jumping up in the rankings from nowhere. So, a preview for TLC, but not necessarily exact. We've got a United States Championship triple threat. For some reason, David Otunga has been added to the mix, so look forward to that. David Otunga is now also getting a US title shot. I really don't know why, but it's happening. The Miz, Vance Archer, and Luke Gallows, who is also now randomly getting a shot. I guess, to be fair, that one at least carries on the Straight Edge Society's rivalry with The Miz and Chris Jericho, so there is something to that one. Beth Phoenix versus Tiny Shiny is not what's happening. It's just there because there's not actually any women on the shows yet. That is just not happening. So these two are being changed. And then we've got the World Heavyweight Championship. Undertaker, Randy Orton, and Big Show. Big Show now suddenly getting a World Heavyweight title shot. And justice has been served because Jack Swagger has been delivered his opportunity against Shawn Michaels. After further evaluation, Jack Swagger was proven to be the #1 contender. So there you have it. And that will be a TLC as well as a TLC. So I guess this show is going to be called TTLC. No, TTTLC. That's Triple Threat Tables, Ladders, and Chairs, because that is the gimmick of this show. I'm not entirely sure why, but we're going to roll with it. We're absolutely going to roll with it. Triple H and Swagger, Undertaker, Orton, and Big Show, those ones will remain. Somewhere in this show, I think we'll throw in Zack Ryder versus Matt Hardy for the Cruiserweight Championship and the 2 Women's Championship Battle Royals, but no tag title matches on this show. And I think the Hart Dynasty will defend the tag titles on Raw against... I don't know, to be honest with you. Not DX. I think considering they have not even debuted yet, they don't deserve a title opportunity. That is my personal opinion. I'm going to say probably either MVP and Mark Henry or the Nexus. Probably the Nexus, considering they've... No. Maybe even Evan Bourne and Kofi. I don't know. We'll see. But that doesn't matter because that's not happening right now anyway. So we'll see you guys in the next episode. These matches are subject to change, do remember, because obviously I am about to do the women's draft and that is going to mess with the card a little bit. So I'll see you guys for the women's draft in the next video.